Okay, I took you through a tour of what I wanted to see in Athens, and Athens is kind of here right in the middle of the screen. And I want to take you on a wider view of all across Greece and some of the different sites I'd like to see there, and different places that I'd like to stay. So, if you turn on Greece, all the different sites, there's one of them that's just really just a nice day trip away from Athens down at the end of this peninsula, the Temple of Poseidon. And this is just a classic example of Greek architecture, and it's on this rocky outcropping overlooking the Mediterranean. And it'd be just spectacular to see that and look around there. And there's another, I think, smaller site, more in ruins, a temple to Athena. But if we're in the area, then we might as well stop by there too. So just to the connected to this mainland via this this little this by the Corinth Canal here. So here's Athens, and it's just connected right over here by bridges. Is this wider, let's call it a peninsula of, and I'm not going to be able to do the name here, Peloponnesos. Peloponnesos. And there's some interesting sites on this peninsula. Of course, the first one is that Corinth Canal, and this was carved out of the rock to allow ships, instead of going all the way around the peninsula, to cut through. Don't worry about Google Earth, how it's displaying the bridges. They indeed do go straight across. But the opportunity for them to go straight across is that there is bungee jumping. We're pretty sure that it is there. And of course, this is where Lauren wants to push Alex off bungee jumping. All right, on the same peninsula, there is the Mycenae Citadel, and this is a citadel from the Bronze Age. It's like 1300, 1400, 1500s BC. And so it's got a lot of, it's just built on top of a hill, a lot of interesting sites, and probably the most famous of this is the Lion's Gate. So this is an image of that. That was kind of popping up there. Let me see if I can pull that up again. That's the Lion's Gate. So it's just one of these, very famous citadels that I'd like to visit. Okay, so that also then on this Peloponnesos, let me get rid of the photographs here. It's another one of these outdoor amphitheaters, and I know I saw there. I highlighted two of them that are in Athens, right next to the Acropolis. Here's another one that's even more impressive. It looks like, anyway, from Google Earth than the ones by the Acropolis. I really like these outdoor theaters. They really have always, since I was a kid, really kind of attracted me and excited me, and I would like to see them if I'm in these areas and all that. Maybe, I have to admit, maybe after seeing one or two or three of them, it's like seeing citadels or Catholic churches in Europe. Once you've seen 10, you've probably seen them all or so. But anyway, I really would love to walk around and kind of see the acoustics in these places. They've always really interested me. So going back to the wide angle of Greece, now we're staying on the mainland. So here's Athens here, and just northwest of Athens, maybe another day trip, is the Delphi Temple of Apollo. And this one is kind of in disrepair and in ruins, which hey, a lot of this is just a bunch of rocks that humans have piled on top of each other that have kind of fallen apart over the years. But it's one of the famous ones I really would like to visit if we have the opportunity. Then stepping back again, and still on the mainland, going farther to the northwest, is a place where the monks built houses and to kind of defend against marauding whomevers or that were running around, and it's called Meteora. And this, if you've seen pictures of it, it's just really spectacular. And they've got creaky old bridges that go to them, kind of remind me of the Karekaridi bridge, rope bridge in Northern Ireland. And the stories go that the monks would only replace the ropes, when God chose them to break. So they wouldn't replace them before that. So it would be a really interesting. It's a little bit far away. I don't know if it could be a day trip or what, but this would be very, very interesting to visit and explore around there and take tours of that. So then, kind of more going back to the that's kind of the places to see that's in the wider Greece, and I'm sure there's more places, and if you can find them, hey, let's add them to the list and all. But now more like places to stay. So way over here, so this is Athens in this area right here. And then way over here in the Ionian Sea, there's some, I think, some interesting things to see and places to stay over there. So there's one island. It's called the Kefalonia Island, and the island itself is pretty interesting. I think there's some really nice places there. And one of the really interesting things is this Melisana Lake Cave, and you've maybe have even seen pictures of this. So it's inland off the ocean, and it's a cave, and there's a lake in that cave. And if I turn on the photographs, I might get lucky with seeing, yeah, pictures of this. Just really crystal blue waters, and here's the cave above, and somehow somebody got a boat in there. So I'm sure you can pay somebody to take a boat ride around there. So that's just a really interesting cave on this island. Hard to get to if you're not already on that island. That's why I'm suggesting maybe staying on this island or one of the islands that's near it. So that's that cave. There's also a really beautiful beach. One of the voted one of the more beautiful beaches in Greece. This Myrtos beach and all that. So it looks really nice with snorkeling and the sand beach in that area. So you wouldn't stay there. You'd have to drive a car, get an Uber or however public transportation to get there. Okay, and that's that. And then just north of that island in the Ionian Sea is another, let's call it an island. It's actually connected to the mainland right here, so we could drive a car there. There's a kind of a causeway that they've built up there, so it's connected to the mainland, but it's got the feeling like an island. There's this Vasiliki down in the south, and I've heard there's good windsurfing down there, good boating, and kind of nice Greek kind of life there. Then also too, there's over on the east coast another nice little community called Nadri, and there I just kind of looked around, and they've got nice little hotels and nothing terribly grand, but I don't think we need all that grand. But here's an example of a hotel and just kind of the streets in this city. And then right past this building over here, right, is the beach, and then you can kind of just see a little bit around the area and all that. So I use Google Earth to kind of explore all these different areas. Then if we go back out to Greece in terms of a wide angle, there's 2 islands or 3 islands that I think would be kind of interesting. They're farther away. One of them is Rhodes Island, which is way down here. It's almost right next to Turkey, and that would be I'm sure either got to fly there or take could be a multi-day ferry or something like that. But on Rhodes Island is the most famous place there is Lindos, and this is nice. It has a nice beach and a citadel overlooking the area and all that. And so this is another nice place, but pretty far away. Another one is Mykonos, and this one here is closer to Athens. Not that far away, right there. And so we can kind of zoom into Mykonos. And again, I don't know really how to pronounce these names. But one of the things about Mykonos is that it's got some really nice beaches all around it. And the city itself is one of these very traditional whitewashed cities of Greece. So it's a very nice, I've heard just a nice place to stay. And then the third and last of the islands that's more in the Aegean Sea is Santorini. And Santorini is down here, and this is from Athens, a longer trip, but I hear it's packed with tourists, and that can be good or bad. But Santorini, as you'll see, it's got beautiful sunset views over the Mediterranean. This is a volcano here. I don't think it's quite active, but it shows active here on Mr. Google Earth. And then the beautiful thing is to watch the sunsets while sipping some coffee, and you're on this bluff, kind of overlooking this volcano and the setting sun, and life is good. So that's kind of a general tour about Greece and some of the different things I'd like to see. Please, review this, rate these things. I've got a Google document that's got them all in there. Rate them to say, yeah, I'd like to see this, or no, I don't want to see that. And then two, if you find other places, add them into that Google Doc so we can start building up kind of a pick list of things that we want to see or things that we don't want to see. So thank you for your time. Have a great day.